My hands are shaking, but my brain feels weirdly calm, like everything just went into survival mode. I'm 57 years old and I built my company from nothing. Started Henderson Commercial Refrigeration in my garage 28 years ago with a used van. Today we do $12 million in annual revenue and employ 45 people. My son Marcus is 32. He joined the company 6 years ago as operations manager. Kid went to business school, worked at 2 other companies first. No nepotism. He earned his spot. My wife Linda is 54. She stopped working when we got married, raised our 2 kids, managed the house. I never complained about her spending. We had issues like any couple, but I thought we were solid. Last Tuesday changed everything. I came home early from a canceled meeting, pulled into the driveway around 2 and saw an unfamiliar BMW. Figured Linda had a friend over, walked in through the garage and heard voices from my home office. The door was mostly closed but not latched. I was about to announce myself when I heard Marcus. So realistically, how long does the whole process take? Male voice I didn't recognize. If we can establish a pattern of concerning behavior, maybe 3 to 4 months. The key is documentation. Linda spoke next. He's been forgetting things. Repeating himself. Last week he couldn't remember our neighbor's name. I stood frozen. The stranger continued. That's good. We need more. Doctor visits where he seems confused. Any erratic business decisions? Marcus jumped in. He vetoed the Riverside contract last month. Made 0 sense financially. For context, Riverside was a lowball bid from a client notorious for payment issues. I rejected it because I recognize red flags. Marcus wanted it to pad his numbers. Linda added, what about his temper? He's been irritable lately. The stranger sounded pleased. Perfect. Keep detailed notes. We'll need testimony about his declining capacity. Marcus asked the question that made my blood freeze. And once he's declared incompetent, the conservatorship transfers business control to me? Correct. As his son and operations manager, you're the logical choice. Your mother would handle personal affairs and assets. Linda asked about the retainer. $25,000 to start, considering the business valuation. I pushed the door open and stood there. The lawyer went pale. Linda jumped like she'd been electrocuted. Marcus looked sick. Meeting going well? My voice came out steady. Nobody spoke. The lawyer started packing his briefcase. I told him not to bother. He wasn't getting that retainer. Linda recovered first. Honey, this isn't what it looks like. It's exactly what it looks like. You're trying to have me declared incompetent to steal my business. Marcus tried. Dad, we're worried about you. Save it. I heard everything. I made the lawyer sit back down and explain the legal requirements for competency evaluation. Asked how much they'd already filed. Nothing yet, just a consultation. I told them all to get out. The lawyer ran. Marcus tried to speak, but I pointed at the door. Linda stayed, crying, saying they were trying to help me. You're trying to rob me. Get out. I locked the office and made 4 calls. First to my doctor for an emergency cognitive assessment. He fit me in that afternoon. Second to my CPA. Third to a divorce attorney. Fourth to my corporate attorney. The cognitive assessment took 2 hours. Memory tests, problem-solving, questionnaires. My doctor's known me 15 years. Your mind is sharp as ever. I'll have a full written report tomorrow documenting your complete cognitive health. Got home around 7. Linda was in the living room. Marcus was there. Linda said we needed to talk rationally. I agreed. Here's rational. You tried to commit legal fraud. I have a witness in that, lawyer. And I recorded the conversation from the hallway. That was a lie. But they didn't know that. Marcus went white. Tomorrow morning you're fired. Clean out your desk by 9 or security escorts you out. He begged, said he needed that job, should have thought about that before trying to steal my company. I packed a bag. Linda followed, still crying, still making excuses about being worried. You're protecting yourself. Don't contact me. My lawyer will be in touch. I stayed at a hotel, couldn't sleep. 26 years of marriage, and this is how it ends, with her plotting to declare me insane so she could take everything. The divorce attorney called at 11. We talked for an hour. She's representing me now. I thought I knew these people. Turns out I was just a resource to exploit. Update 1 week later. The entitlement has reached absolutely unhinged territory. Day 1 after confrontation. Showed up at the office at 6. Had my corporate attorney and HR director meet me, explained everything with documentation. They were stunned. Marcus arrived at 8:30. His badge didn't work. He called me. I didn't answer. Security gave him a box and supervised while he cleaned his desk. He tried accessing his computer, already locked by it. Here's where it gets interesting. They caught him trying to download files to a USB drive. Security confiscated it. The USB contained client lists, supplier contacts, our entire operations manual, and financial projections. He wasn't just getting fired. He was planning to compete against me. My corporate attorney sent him a cease and desist by noon. Non-compete clause in his contract is ironclad. He signed it 6 years ago without reading it. Meanwhile, Linda blew up my phone. 89 calls and texts that first day. Everything from accusations to threats about taking me for everything. My divorce attorney's response was beautiful. She informed Linda that her husband had documentation of conspiracy to have him declared incompetent. That's elder abuse in this state. Suggested she reconsider her tone. Radio silence for 12 hours. Then came financial warfare. Day 3. Linda maxed out every credit card. Over $45,000 in charges. Jewelry, handbags, electronics. I took screenshots before calling card companies. Cards canceled within an hour. She also cleaned out our joint checking. 10,000 gone, jokes on her. That was our only joint account. Everything else is solely in my name. Day 4. Letter from her attorney demanding $15,000 monthly temporary support and that I vacate our home while continuing to pay the mortgage. My divorce attorney laughed. Sent back a response listing elder abuse conspiracy, credit card fraud, and asset dissipation. Offered $3,000 monthly and suggested Linda find employment. Day 5. My daughter Sarah called from 2 states away, wanted to know what was happening because her mother claimed I'd lost my mind. I explained everything. Sent her the cognitive assessment. The relief in her voice was obvious. She said she knew something was wrong. Linda had been weird lately, asking about my will, about the business structure. She was planning this, and my brother went along with it. He was driving it. Sarah started crying. She couldn't believe they'd do this. Day 6. Marcus filed for unemployment claiming wrongful termination. I attached the cease and desist, documentation of attempted data theft, and HR statements. Claim denied within 48 hours. Also day 6. Got a call from my business insurance. Anonymous claim that I'd made threatening statements and created a hostile work environment. I pulled security footage. Marcus had been talking to 3 employees the day before he got fired. Those same 3 suddenly submitted complaints about my erratic behavior. Had HR interview them separately. Stories didn't match. Clearly coached. I gathered the whole company. Explained I'd fired my son for cause. That false reports had been made. Anyone who participated should reconsider their employment. 2 resigned that afternoon. The 3rd came to my office crying, apologizing. Said Marcus promised him a management position when he took over. I kept him on with a written warning. Day 7. Linda showed up at the office. Security called me. She looked awful, said we needed to talk. Through attorneys, she tried playing victim. Said she was scared, that I'd been distant. I told her she wanted my company and my money. Don't dress it up as concern. Then she slipped. Said the kids needed help. They were struggling. What do you mean struggling? She froze. Realized she'd said too much. I called my CPA right there. Had him run Marcus's credit. $127,000 in debt. Credit cards, personal loans, 2 car leases he couldn't afford. Plus a $50,000 loan for some crypto scheme that collapsed. That's what this was really about. My son needed money. My wife wanted to maintain her lifestyle. They decided to take everything from me. I told her to get out. Security escorted her. Sarah flew in that weekend. We had dinner. She was furious at them but worried about me. Are you okay? Like really okay? I'm tired, but I'm not crazy, I know. I read the doctor's report. They almost convinced me I wasn't. That's the messed up part. I started questioning myself. That's the real damage. They didn't just try to steal from me. They tried to make me doubt my own mind. Update 2-3 weeks later. The entitlement somehow got worse. My divorce attorney filed papers. Linda got served and hired the most aggressive attorney she could find. Guy with billboards everywhere. His first move. Emergency motion for exclusive use of the home and $20,000 monthly support. Argument that I'd abandoned my wife. My attorney's response was 30 pages of documented elder abuse conspiracy, financial fraud, and asset dissipation. The hearing was a disaster for them. Linda showed up dressed for a funeral. Her attorney started with abandonment. Judge wasn't buying it. Pointed out Linda conspired to have me declared incompetent, and I had documentation. Asked why I would stay in that home. Her attorney claimed allegations were disputed. Judge asked if they really were. He had a signed statement from the attorney who was present at that meeting. Turns out the lawyer Linda hired got scared after my attorney threatened bar complaints. He gave a voluntary statement confirming every word of their conspiracy. Judge denied the motion, set temporary support at $4,000, no exclusive use of the home, ordered 50-50 split of household items with me getting first choice since I'd moved out. Linda lost it in court, started yelling about how she couldn't survive on $4,000. Judge told her I was alleging elder abuse. The court was being generous. He suggested she accept it. Outside the courthouse, Linda tried approaching me. My attorney blocked her. "You're destroying me. I gave you the best years of my life. You tried to have me declared insane. We're done." But the real chaos started after that. Marcus, desperate and stupid, started calling my business clients, telling them I was having health issues, offering his services as a consultant. 3 clients called me directly. I forwarded everything to my attorney. We sent cease and desist letters threatening tortious interference lawsuits. Marcus's response: he tried starting his own competing business. Filed LLC papers for Premier Refrigeration Solutions. Problem: his non-compete prohibits working in commercial refrigeration within 100 miles for 3 years. We sent a letter. We'd sue him into bankruptcy if he opened. He claimed the non-compete was unenforceable and he had free speech rights. We filed for a temporary restraining order. Meanwhile, Linda's dirty tricks escalated. She started calling my sister, my elderly mother, my business partners, telling them I'd had a breakdown. My sister called me laughing. Said she told Linda I was the sanest person she knew. My mother called crying. She's 82, doesn't need this stress. I drove to her house and explained everything, showed her the cognitive assessment. She was horrified, admitted she never liked Linda, too concerned with appearances, but she thought Linda loved me. She loved what I provided. Linda also went to my country club, telling people I was mentally unwell. 2 members called asking if I was okay. I resigned my membership. The preliminary injunction hearing against Marcus was brutal. He showed up with some bargain attorney who wasn't prepared. My attorney brought documentation of every non-compete violation, every client contact, the LLC filing. Judge granted the injunction. Marcus cannot operate any competing business, contact any clients or employees, or work in commercial refrigeration within 100 miles. Violation means contempt. Marcus stood up and yelled at the judge, called it BS, said he had bills to pay. Judge was not amused, reminded Marcus he'd signed a contract. Given his conduct, the court found he'd acted in bad faith. If he violated it, he'd explain himself from a jail cell. The divorce discovery was revealing. My attorney subpoenaed their financial records. Turns out Linda has a separate bank account I never knew about. $83,000. Money skimmed from household accounts over years. She claimed it was savings but couldn't explain the source. My attorney is arguing it's fraudulently concealed marital property. Also discovered she'd been taking cash advances on credit cards for months before I caught the conspiracy. Over $25,000 with no explanation. Marcus's records are worse. The debt is actually $180,000. He'd been hiding loans. Linda had been giving him money, so the whole conspiracy makes sense now. They're both drowning. They saw my business as a life raft. Sarah has been my rock. She flew back for the hearing, sat in the gallery while her brother got humiliated. Afterwards, she told me she'd tried talking to him. He's completely delusional, thinks I'm the bad guy, that they were just exploring options for my care. They were planning fraud. She told him that. He hung up on her. Final update, it's over. Mostly. The divorce settlement got finalized 3 weeks ago. Wasn't pretty but was fair given everything. The judge spent 15 minutes lecturing about elder abuse allegations and how Linda was fortunate I wasn't pursuing criminal charges. Linda got 35% house equity. We're selling it. 1 car. $3,500 monthly support for 4 years. Half of 1 joint retirement account, about $90,000. I got the business 100%, all other accounts and investments, 65% house equity, the vacation cabin, her hidden account. Judge ruled it was marital property, split 50-50. She was furious. The credit card debt she racked up, all hers. Judge said she deliberately dissipated assets. Linda tried one last play, started crying, told the judge she'd given up her career for our family. Judge was unmoved. Said I was providing 4 years of support, ample time for employment or education. And frankly, her conduct did not warrant the court's sympathy. Her attorney tried to object. Judge shut him down. Your client conspired to have her husband declared mentally incompetent to seize his business. She then maxed out credit cards, hid money, and attempted to manipulate the court. She's receiving far more consideration than she deserves. Papers signed, marriage over, Marcus's situation got messier. 2 weeks after the injunction, he violated it, started consulting for a competing company 80 miles away. Thought he was outside the radius, he wasn't. The non-compete specified 100 miles. We filed contempt charges, the hearing was short. My attorney presented emails and texts Marcus sent trying to poach employees. Social media posts about his new role. Judge was livid. Reminded Marcus he'd been warned. Marcus tried arguing financial hardship, said I'd cut him off. Judge pointed out I'd fired him for cause after he attempted to steal from my company. His situation was a consequence of his own choices. Judge held him in contempt, $500 daily fine until he ceased work, plus $15,000 in attorney's fees. Marcus quit the next day. Last I heard, he's working at an auto parts store for $16 an hour. Sarah and I are closer than ever. We talk daily now. Last week she asked if I was angry. Not anymore, mostly sad, that your brother chose money over family, that your mother chose comfort over integrity. They made their choices, and now they're living with the consequences. She asked if I'd ever forgive them. I told her I don't know, maybe someday. But forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. They showed me who they really are. The business is thriving, revenue up 8%. Turns out Marcus's vision was holding us back. My new operations manager is excellent. We're bidding on a major hospital contract. Life is different now, quieter. I live alone in a downtown apartment, cook my own meals. It's peaceful in a way my marriage never was. I'm not dating, not interested yet. My therapist says I'm processing trauma, that having people you trust betray you leaves deep scars. Linda never apologized, not once. In her mind, she was justified. Marcus sent one text after the contempt hearing, "Hope you're happy. You destroyed your own family." I blocked his number. The hardest part wasn't legal battles or money. It was realizing my marriage was a lie, that my wife saw me as a resource, that my son viewed me as an obstacle. You spend decades building a life with someone, trust them with everything, and then discover they'd throw you away the second it benefited them. That's the real theft, not the attempted fraud, the stolen years. But here's what I learned. Trust your instincts. When something feels wrong, investigate. Don't let people gaslight you into doubting your reality. I almost dismissed what I overheard. Almost convinced myself I misunderstood. Almost let them explain it away. If I had, I'd be in a conservatorship now. My son would control my business, my wife would control my assets, and I'd be sitting somewhere being told my own thoughts weren't valid. Was it ruthless? Maybe, but they tried to destroy me. I just defended myself. My mother asked if I regret anything. I regret marrying someone I didn't really know. I regret not seeing who my son was becoming. But I don't regret defending myself. She nodded. You did the right thing, that's enough for me.